All right, welcome back to another CBSI Star Wars comic show. I've got Mike Morello, Ben C with me again, and we've got some foreign books to talk about this week. So hopefully you guys are ready for that. We got some multiple editions to kind of cover. We're not just doing one book this time. We got a little bit of a run, a couple of ideas, a couple of things for you guys to keep an eye out for. So hopefully you're enjoying that. And if you are, make sure you're reading the article over on comicbookinvest.com. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And yeah, we'll be right back with the books in a couple of seconds after the intro. All right, so I guess I'll start us off with our foreign books. I decided to go with the Paninis because there are a lot of Panini books. So just kind of broadly just saying Panini books as options, because while there's a few different titles, they'll basically just have like Star Wars and then just run through all the different series and just randomly throw storylines in under that Panini Star Wars title. It's kind of hard to collect. It's kind of hard to research with all the different countries over in Europe of which ones are German editions, there's Spanish editions, there's Italian editions. It's kind of tough to kind of weave your way through, but there are some cool books. Like you got this Gelato High Republic, which I think is pretty cool. And then you can go over to this Matina Star Wars that I got. And there's a couple different versions of this. The one I have here is foil, but I think there's one that has like an all like foil like cover. It's like a little bit darker. But they also have so many keys of like Star Wars books that you guys are out there hunting now, just like out there for like regular issues there. I don't know, like $30. Like you can get Darth Vader 3 if you want in the Italian version or the Spanish version, German version, whatever they have, whether it be the Cad Bane on the Darth Maul title, but it's just a Star Wars book. But that is the Cad Bane appearance. And they even bounce back to Dark Horse and give you the Son of Dathomir stuff with the, the Black Saber. It's just crazy. Like there's just so much out there. It's just, I don't know. So much to collect. It's almost too much.
The thing about this, and I remember trying to grab some of these, is that by the time they get to you, they're often not in great shape. I don't know what it is about how these were published or how they were sold or what, but they're often in really bad shape. But I mean, these are the covers everybody wants right here. So if you like the art, this is a great way to get them.
I think the thing, part of it is Italian culture doesn't have, there's no value on condition. Like
they don't revere their comics like we do.
Wrapped it in a cheesecloth and mailed it over to you.
I have gotten books like wrapped in like plastic wrap. Like
yes, yeah. It's funny till it happens to you, and then you're like, oh
yeah.
Ooh.
Sorry, my paisans over there in Italy, but yeah, you need to learn how to ship comics a little bit better.
It's stuck in an envelope.
Goddamn respect.
Or it's not even sealed. They just put the metal flaps down. Like the metal flaps are closed. But anyway, can open it up if they wanted to.
They're like Peter Renna, USA.
Enjoy.
It'll get there eventually.
Exactly. It's on the boat.
Oh.
So true.
But so many options there.
These are great picks, though. And I didn't even know they made this one. I've never seen this one like this.
Tell you, too many countries to keep track of, because like I said, some of these are German, some of them are like Spanish, some of them are Italian. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy. Like the numbering and what they decide to reprint it's a wild ride. It'll get you lost down the rabbit hole.
And not to go too far down the rabbit hole, but this also this counts for a lot of other books too that aren't Star Wars. Things like Harley Quinn Hughes cover. I think the Hughes.
The German.
There's a Spanish and maybe an Italian Lash 23. There's a bunch of Wolverine Delatos that a couple of them have never been printed here in the States. So there's
Joker Batman, like those Batman Joker ones.
Yep.
Gorgeous stuff.
Yep, a lot of great ones. There may even be it's possible there's even is there a BA12 Panini? Am I making that up?
I don't know.
I can't remember, but there's a lot of stuff like that. Man, if it's just the cover you're looking for, this is a nice way to do it.
Yeah, cheaper alternative. But
been a
yours
tough
are
one.
a little different, Mike. You
Yes.
decided to go with very flimsy papered, a little bit oversized.
Yes. Oversized to make things really obnoxious, which is that they're like 1/16 too high for a magazine bag and board. It's really obnoxious. But yeah, so I went with these Empire Strikes Back weeklies, which were, as they sound, it was literally like 1 month of a US comic split up into 4 weeklies. They're really thin and flimsy and fragile. They're sized horribly, but they all came out before their US counterparts. So for instance, this one is months before, and there's Lando on the cover.
Mm.
This is his first appearance for real. He's not in the book though, which is kind of funny. He won't exist in the weeklies for like another 7 or 8 issues, something like that. But there he is, clearly on the cover. So that's the 119, which is technically the second issue. 118 is the issue 1 that we're all familiar with.
Empire.
Yeah, with the orange cover that everyone knows. And then the next one I went with is a pretty important book. This is the which I'm trying
126, I think.
126. This is the one that is first Yoda. So now it's Yoda, like in the shadows, but it's clearly Yoda, and it's the Yoda that you remember that looks kind of like a gnome in a lot of ways, big, like really extra big ears, but he's clearly there. And this is the first appearance of that in this one. And then the one that people are starting to latch onto is the next
Everybody
one.
knows this one now.
Yeah, the 127, which is first Boba Fett. But what's funny is he's not like in the story. It's just that first sort of title page.
Yeah.
And then he's not in the story. But this is also first Emperor in this as well. So this is a double whammy, this one. So this one's kind of started to gain some momentum, but not nearly what it should, in my opinion. I think all of these are way, way, way undervalued. They're really rare. They're especially rare in good shape because they're so thin. But then there's one more.
Would they also, before we get to the next one, would they also call this one first full Yoda, since he's not in the shadows?
Yes, it would be first full Yoda as well. So this is a sort of a triplicate. This book is big.
Yeah.
And it is starting to show that value-wise. But still, it's only like a couple of $100 book rather than a couple of $1,000 book like its U.S. counterpart at the moment. And this is before it. I don't remember exactly how many months before. I could check that up. But it is a fair amount before. It's like maybe a full month. It may even be more than that. It's a lot. It's by a lot. It's by enough to make it significant anyway.
Yeah.
And then the next issue is the cover. It's actually 2 issues later. It's 129. It's the cover for Boba using the same image of Boba that's on the title page of the 127, but with obviously color. So, but still, this is his first cover long before issue 42 in the States. So again, I mean, why these aren't all worth more, I don't know. I realize that you follow the flag. It's just, it's the same thing with like vinyl records. It's the same thing with rare books. I get like people want to follow the flag, like wherever the thing came out first, those are the ones people want. But I mean, in comics, we're talking about where's the first appearance. These are the first appearances, and there's like no question about it. You even have the week that these were published rather than just the month. So, I mean, you can pinpoint it literally down to that. My guess is because they would get the plates first and they would be publishing the week. Like we would maybe wait 3 or 4 weeks before that monthly comes out. But the UK was doing the 3 prior weeks before that monthly would come. So that's often why they're earlier. I know they're
so fragile though. They're so flimsy.
They are really flimsy. They're only like 10 sheets of paper a piece. They're much bigger. So there's a lot more flop to them, for lack of a better way of putting it. So they're all ticked up usually. Seems like the propensity in the UK was to write your name on your comic books. So there's lots of names on these. I very rarely find them without a name written on them, which is really annoying, but that's what they are. And they also fade easier, seemingly, for some reason. I'm not sure if they use different ink or what, but they seem like they fade out quicker.
Well, it's that newsprint cover, right? Like the cover of these is the same as like a newspaper over here.
Yeah. It does have a gloss to it, but it's the same thickness.
Yeah, it's very.
It's really thin. It's a really thin cover, but it does have glossy ink on it, which helps a little.
It helps a tiny bit, but not too much.
Unlike the other weeklies that you might be used to, like the Avengers weeklies and the Hulks and stuff, you're right on those, Ben. Those are just straight newsprint, colored newsprint. So those are even worse. Those are even
these
harder.
are pretty close to the Action Forces, though, like the G.I. Joe.
Yes, that's exactly what these are like. Good call. That's exactly what they're like. Same size, same kind of sheen to that front cover, but real thin paper, and then also seemingly thinner newsprint inside as well.
Yeah, it's so flimsy inside.
It really is. They're really easy to
it would like dissolve in water. Like it just.
Yeah.
Oh no, it got wet. Where'd it go?
They do feel like they would be. Yeah, any moisture at all would completely destroy these.
But still, good stuff.
Thanks.
I like this pick. I like this pick a lot. Hard ass books to find, and I know they're not books, but you know what I mean. Hard ass comics.
Yeah.
I think the thing holding them back from the mainstream is a mix of them being foreign and general awareness, right? Like, how long did it take for Rebels for people to be like, oh, the magazine? Oh, that's not $5? Oh, my bad. Like,
yeah, exactly. Same kind of deal.
So yeah, it took a lot of awareness, man. That's all. That's my theory here.
Yeah, I think it's awareness. It's also a mixture of supply too, because there's not a lot on this side of like the pond. Like unless you're looking for it actively, like on eBay or whatnot, you're not going to see this on a wall anywhere. You go, oh, I know what that is.
Or even to ask what it is. I mean, that just goes back to the awareness factor of, you know.
And I've seen other foreigns like this, other weeklies like this in the States. I have never seen these. Never, not one single issue, key or not.
Well, people like Star Wars, so they get scooped up quick.
Yeah, and then that's the other thing, of course. Like all the stuff we're talking about, people just don't get. They will not part with them.
Yeah, not unlike these other ones that Ben's got.
Yeah,
we go with these Turkish virgins.
These Turkish books, it's out of control. Marmara is the publisher. The big thing about Star Wars foreign stuff, like Mike was saying, Panini has the license, and they do mainly Italian releases right now, or like Peter was saying. Sorry, Peter. Marmara is the only other person or the only other entity with license from Lucas. Disney, you can get. I'll call up Disney right now and be like, $5. Like, we'll get the license. We'll be fucking Rennavision on Disney. Like, Lucasfilm, we're like, hey, we want to do, like, no, you get to do nothing because we're Lucasfilm. Marmara has that license. Instead of sitting back and again, I get it, Panini's wonderful, blah, 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 blah. They are second tier books compared to the Turkish stuff. They have these gorgeous, thick cardstock covers, including this J.G. Jones cover you can only get on this Turkish book. But like,
yeah,
I mean, that's how thick the cardstock is. That's crazy. They're super, super nice. Parallel Everin and Comics Basket each did a handful of virgins, and then Parallel Everin also did the Gorkum Demir watercolors, and then they did puzzle variants. That cover to Anakin, I don't even know why. Like, why is it Anakin? Did they have too many Django covers, and they were like, we don't want to not use them, and we're not going to lie, the Anakin covers kind of suck. Why don't we put this on an Anakin cover? See if we can move.
Let's put Mason Django on there instead.
And there was no reference to the high ground on any of the Anakin covers, so you might as well have the last thing Django saw, right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the Gorkum Demir stuff is out of control.
That's cool.
8 different there's Age of Republic, Age of Rebellion, Age of Resistance. There's 4 virgins for each of the first 2, and then 1 for the third. There's 27 puzzle pieces, 9 each age.
Look
It's
at
not
Yikes.
9 each age, and for reference, they released these in the U.S. with trade dress cover to make them not puzzle. Like, they're like, we made a puzzle. We fixed it. We took the corners off of them all. Weird shit, guys. So,
And then that one you showed before.
that J.G.
I've never
Jones
seen that
art,
image. With
you
all
can
of them.
only get that. He made that for Age of Republic Vader, and they were like, we commissioned too many Vader covers. We're not going to use it. And then Parallel 11 was like, we're publishing this because it hasn't been published. Like, and now that's like $100 book.
That's awesome. I love J.G. Jones.
Or it's
Me
close
too.
to it. It's on its way. I cannot explain how tough this Turkish stuff is.
Well, you can see I
300
put on the
copies.
slides. There was like limited to like 300 or 500. Like there's not a lot.
That's ludicrous for Star Wars. Like,
It's ludicrous for any book.
what? Yeah. But
Exactly.
Star Wars, I mean, we're about to hit a point where we have no Star Wars downtime. 12/29, we're going to get Book of Boba Fett. And then moving forward from that, we're in a new world. We're in a world of every week when more people get told about Star Wars or figure out that there's Star Wars comics out there, that they could be collecting them, and that there's tiers of like, that's modern Marvel junk and modern Marvel gold variants and Turkish variants. And then you get into the Dark Horse. And then someday you find yourself down a rabbit hole in Morello's stack of weeklies. Like, and there's no coming back.
No, there's not.
If you want more information on the subject, we have a wealth of information on comicbookinvest.com. Some of the best minds in the game are keeping that ship afloat. Get over there, check it out. Don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you sub up the channel. Rennavision has got crazy stuff going. There's daily videos. More Star Wars. Before we go, guys, what's good? Bring us out. Close us out.